Okay. And I will
And
try
it'll
to
work
sign
here.
in. I will try to sign in with my Lucene Gmail.
Awesome.
Let's see. Yep, that should work. Okay.
And I'm going to get the annotate feature out because I don't know if you've ever used the annotations in.
You mean if I've used the, you mean that one? Okay, got it.
Yeah, I've been using them a lot lately as just like, all right. So, and I think, yep, we are recording. Great.
Yes. So I guess.
So right now we have talked. Yeah, that's all we have.
Yep. And so how does it work? So I toggle it, I type something, let's say this query looks good. I save it.
Yep.
And by the way, we also in our team, we invented like a format, how we communicate things.
Oh, you did?
And I think we even extracted it at some point when you can actually export this and then you can like use a script and go through things. So we could say, for instance, you know, this is like, okay, we can say something like query type, and we have our own types. Let's say A, then we say like.
And I think that's interesting, right? Like that would be, that's exactly like, how would you associate more attributes? Yeah, all right, let's see it. Query understanding, QU.
Yeah, something like this. Query understanding, QU, search data, whatever it is, right? And then maybe there could be some free form comment as well here. So I think we should, you know, tune QU algo. And then I think when you export this, then this kind of structure remains, and then we can kind of like use a script. If you have a lot of queries in one case, you can kind of dissect those into groups however you want. This is what we did, I think. Yeah. Right. So that's one thing. But then, okay, if I toggle it back,
maybe we could have a template, right? Like an idea is maybe there, you know, just sort of the way we have custom scores, maybe you have a custom template and that goes into every query.
Yeah. So like I could set like that would actually be super helpful, because then I can control like what the annotators kind of like put there, right? Because otherwise I have to rely on them to follow the guidelines. And sometimes maybe they will not follow the guidelines, or they make a mistake in the format, kind of mistake. Oh, what's that? Custom template for the notes that you're typing, right?
Yeah, just so later we see it.
Just a block of text stored in the DB. Cool, awesome. All right, so then I toggle this. So this is, by the way, super useful. What I do usually is that I ask the annotator team to first make a pass through the queries and leave the comments. And then we have a common call and we say, okay, we do this, we do that, because in our case, we have to sometimes, you know, put these queries into independent cases because of how our QU works. But now lately we have integrated everything together. So we have integrated our API into Quepid, and basically it acts as a proxy between Quepid and Elasticsearch.
Yeah, I think that's the new pattern. And that people have been doing. And I think I have a Java project from one of our clients that is going to be a Quepid adapter so other people can follow that pattern. Because yeah, I think that's the way to go.
Yeah.
Okay. So what about tracking in, so toggle notes right now is just a big text box.
Yeah.
Would you want to try, I don't know, would it be worth tracking who wrote the notes? Either like if you click toggle notes and you click in there and hit return, would you want it to say like DK : or the date? Would it, I don't know if any, is it worth trying to have like comments, like a history, any sense of who said what? I don't know how to have a conversation. Sometimes I, you know, like in general, I like to have a conversation in person. Dmitry, I think this is Mission Impossible. I don't know. We have a conversation, but sometimes you have to do it in an offline. Do you think any kind of threaded conversation, or is that just a feature looking for a need.
Probably. At least I didn't encounter this, but sometimes I'm wondering who did this, who left this comment. So at least kind of like if I'm certain that this particular query was handled by one person, right? So they rated it, they also commented it. So it would be nice to know who did it, because then I can go and kind of talk to that team, sub-team, that person, maybe ask a question. Will I use Quepid to kind of like discuss it? I'm not sure. It would be nice to have that opportunity actually, because then everything stays in the same tool, and we can come back to it later, you know? So like,
yeah, it would be,
I could ask a question and he would answer, she would answer.
right. And you would say that, and it would be interesting to see. I guess what I'm asking, and part of me is wondering if we've ever seen anyone else do it, like what that would look like, or is there another application out there that really does like threaded conversation?
Yeah, I think there is. Maybe we could kind of think about integrating something.
Right. Yeah. What do we call that? Is it a conversation?
Yeah, it's like,
what do we call that feature? You know, it's almost like, yeah, I feel like there should be a name for that chat messaging.
Oh, like user comments or, you know, something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like, yeah, I mean, I wonder how much of it is like Discord or discourse.
Yeah, Discord, I guess. Yeah, it sounds like potentially. Oh, you mean discourse? Discourse as a linguistic term. Yeah, I think.
No, or I thought there was like what is Discord? Discord is like an app or something.
Yeah.
Talk and hang out.
Yeah.
And then Discourse was an app that was about chatting.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Internet forum and mailing list. Yeah.
But you know, like if we will allow for threaded conversations, then another feature that might be needed is kind of email notifications or something like that, because so that users know that, okay, my comment was handled or replied to.
Yep.
Or maybe it will be in Quepid, you know, like it would show some kind of toast.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I'm definitely, I don't know the right answer. It's something to think about, right? Is that then I just start wondering, you know, do we just, you know, deploy discourse?
Right.
I don't know. I don't know how.
Yeah.
I don't know how much work it is, right? But that would be interesting. Related, I also wondered if it would be valuable for a query or a case to link to other documents. So like sometimes when I have a case, I have a JIRA ticket. And this case is supporting this JIRA.
Yep.
I'm wondering if adding links to maybe at the case level, I don't know if we'd want to add links at the query level. Like you're looking at this, I mean, you could paste the link right into the toggle notes. That might just be fine.
Yes. Yeah, if it makes it a link, you know, if it's a rich text editor and it makes it a link. Oops, sorry, my wife is calling. Just a second.
Of course, you may have to go.
I'll just answer first.
Please.
She decided to walk. It's nearby, kind of like maybe 15 minutes. So she's walking. I don't have to fetch her.
Okay. So
we have more time.
Awesome. So this, you know, and another question, Markdown support?
Yeah.
Right. That way you could have some images. I'm kind of assuming I want to look at what Rails 6 has with its action text and just see what that gives us. Because I think it, instead of being a text box that you're typing in, you're actually typing in something. It's supposed to be richer. I'm just curious to see what that gives us.
Yeah, I think I tried it in Rails 6. It's like, it's almost like a blog platform. I mean, it allows you to type text and then format it and then add images. And so I think we can try it out as well. Yeah, I think this could be, because I did notice that there is a disconnect between cases and queries and sort of what happens before and after. maybe what happens after, you know, like, okay, how do we iterate? We usually would have a call, go through it, or we go to another chat system where we discuss things and then we link the cases there in the chat, right?
Yeah.
So why not reverse that, kind of like put it here?
Yep. So, and that's why, I mean, I was sort of thinking if you know, so that kind of, yeah. So I think that why don't you scroll up to the top and I'll throw a label on adding related links, right? Like I could imagine it being, you know, related URLs. Like I could imagine that, you know, we could have right here, if you add some URLs, you go and, I don't know, render the fav icon or whatever it is, and it just shows up. Or you know how like in Slack, when you paste a URL in, you get
it
like
expands.
little, maybe, I don't know if it's possible, but it could like throw those there. So you'd be like, yep, I'm working on clone test, Jira 52 or GitHub PR, whatever it is that you wanted to link to this, you could, right? And this would be sort of linking that way.
Yes, that would be interesting.
Yeah, because I often find that in my Jiras, I'm linking in. It would be interesting to link the other way.
Yes, absolutely.
And somewhat related to that, can you open up the tune relevance, the history?
The history, yep.
Do we get to put text on a history, on a try?
I mean, there is this thing, annotations, but it's not bound to a specific try.
Yeah. And so would adding notes to a try?
Potentially, yes. But actually, by the way, I don't use history because I'm like when I have several kind of like tries here,
too quick.
Like if I click on something, I'm afraid that Quepid will kind of go back to that try and then I get lost. You know, like in Confluence, you have history and you can also kind of like go back to and select a specific version. And if you ever go there, you're sort of a little bit afraid that you will mess up something. But I don't know about this one. I'm not a big user of it.
So on this history, one thing I want to experiment with is, well, one thing I want to do is track all the tries off of each other so that, like, let's say you do 1, 2, 3, 4, and you jump to 2, and then you change something and rerun it. 5 links, so you get this tree visualization, more of a tree viz. So maybe you feel more confident moving around.
Yeah, if it was a tree, yes.
And the thought about labeling the try might be, well, why did you go back to 2 and create 5? Like almost like maybe even the numbers aren't useful. Maybe it's just SHA hash codes or something, almost like Git, you know, like, oh, I went to 5 because from 2, because the other tree was not helping me.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So it's kind of like it's emphasizing the process of tuning the formula.
Yeah. Right? So you got like, I don't know, 1, I don't know. I probably, hold on, let me try it like this. So you got 1, you got 2, you got 3, you got 4, right? And there's just kind of a through line, right, all the way through. And then you go back to 2 and you create another one, and that's 5. And then you muck with it again at 6, and then 7, right? And then you go back to 4 and you make 8. And right now you assume 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. You know, you would, if I was to look at the history, that's the thinking. But instead of that long list in history, I would show this.
Yeah. Yes.
And then you could be like, whatever the reason is, you could like mouse over that. Maybe it's just a note at the try level, right? Like attempting new blah blah blah, or you know, update it, you know, whatever. You could just mouse over and get a sense, like in a commit message, of like, why did they do what they did?
Yeah, that makes sense. It's almost, it's like a commit message on the Git tree. Yes. I like it.
Yeah.
It's a good idea. So, all right. So that's the history. Shall we move to the to the rating level, right? So if I
Oh,
go
right.
here,
This was something that you were talking about.
yeah, I'm just thinking. So if so, let's say this movie is perfect for sure. This one, let's say I just put fair. Let's just something went on me. I don't know. Now, if so, and this one I put good. So now let's say when I come back to this, so usually the way this works is that we create a case for another team. So they will follow some generic guideline from us, but they should also be unbiased, and they will be like a domain expert, right? Now, what I'm interested in as a relevancy engineer is to understand the reasoning behind their choices. So
Right.
if I didn't know this movie, if it wasn't a movie at all, so I didn't know what it is at all, and they said it's perfect. But for this one, like seemingly, it also has Mission and Impossible in the title. It also has Fallout here, but they put one. Now, what I want to do is eliminate mistakes. There will be human error, but there will be also case when I just don't understand the domain, and I just want an additional color as to why they selected it to be fair. Like, what was the reasoning? What are the signals that they paid attention to? And this is what I thought Qpid could add, basically like a rating level comment here. There will be a button or some kind of like indication of that there is a comment for you. So maybe not all of them should have it. Only those that do have the comment will show some kind of button. So I click it, and then it shows me the thought process there. And maybe there we can also chat, right? If we add the chat functionality as here, so it would also be working on the rating level.
Right.
So that's the idea.
So do me a favor, go open this URL I'm dropping in Zoom chat.
Sure.
Yeah, so that's a glyph icon like that. Okay. Just so we get it in the recording. So like, yeah, literally this is the glyph icon.
Where is my mouse? Here. Okay.
Scroll down a little. Yeah, so scroll down a smidgen and
comment.
Yeah. Right
there. Yes, this is nice. View demo in a separate window. There is a demo. So if I okay, so it's a button.
It's literally just showing you, but that's literally the comment icon.
Look
right?
And feel. Yes, look and feel. Yeah, basically it would show this, when there was a comment, and okay, we still need a button in order to be able to leave the comment, right?
Right.
Okay. And it's just some kind of CSS here, right? That we could plug in.
And this glyph icon, we're already using this library. So like literally, I guess that's the icon, right?
Yeah.
We might want, and maybe our show notes, toggle notes should have that little icon, and we sprinkle that icon wherever there is something. You click it and we pop something up.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and it could have the same style then. So this button turns into like a more styled thing, or I don't know. So these things stand out. But yeah, I guess we can figure it out. Yes, I think this is a good idea. So, but then we need to implement backend, right? So like this would be
so we'll store it, and I don't know if you click the glyph icon and the simplest thing is just the note box pops open that's action text, and you do whatever you want. Or if we do something more threaded, I'd be curious if we ever thought it was worth like having some sort of. So I'm always curious to track like insights and knowledge. Like part of what I'm struggling with in a lot of my projects are, we ran all these experiments, we learned a lot, but where do we store that and how do we understand that? And I want to track like, oh, we did these 20 tries and they all proved this was a bad idea. How do I track that and then tell you a story, right? And with your team, do you guys ever present like a template, like this is what the experiment was, these are the links, often a Cupid case, and these are the results. These were the numbers before, these are the numbers after.
What we do is, at least what we did so far, and I hope we can improve. So what we did is that there was one guy who was kind of running he was creating the cases and then handing them over to the annotator team, then collecting feedback, and then he would summarize it in a presentation. And so we would invite the whole team there, and we would discuss like what to do next. And he would do some kind of pre-thinking of bucketing certain issues. Let's say, is it a search issue? Is it a data issue? Or is it like a QU issue, query understanding, right? But we didn't, I guess he would just take screenshots. So he wasn't showing us the Cupid, but I mean, obviously we can do that as well if it was kind of like actionable, or if it had the summarization part as well, but he had to use a separate way of expressing bucketing issues.
Yep.
So
here's a crazy idea. I dropped in one more link in there.
Discourse.
So imagine that when you open this up, every conversation there was a case.
Yeah. That would be
You just
cool.
had the name of the case. Every time you created a case, it would create a conversation in Discourse, not in Cupid, but in Discourse. I'm assuming we can OAuth between the two. And I don't know, click one of the ones that has more than one person talking.
Something like this one. So it has screenshots, text, some, and I guess, oh, is it like oh yeah, they're discussing it, right? Yeah. And there are some likes and links, replies.
I mean, yeah, I almost wonder how much, conversations, not pages, simple, but I just wonder if literally grabbing this and you're in Cupid, you click the link, you're in Discourse. And if you didn't want to deploy Discourse, that's fine. But if you did, if you flip on the Discourse feature, or the Discourse integration feature in Cupid, and then you had this, I'd just be sort of curious if this would give you all the chat that you wanted about a case.
Yeah, probably yes. The only thing is, though, if it will be physically Discourse, then some companies will not allow it. So at least the client I'm working for might not be happy with it. But that's just a limitation of a corporate. And so in that case, there should be.
So, I think that's one of the things, right? We got to check what Discourse, github.com/discourse.
If it's deployable on-prem, then we could package it with Cupid.
It is. I think when I say it would be separate, I mean, like, we don't, like, it's not in the Cupid GitHub repo, because that's a lot of code, its own thing. Sure. What is it licensed under? I mean, if it doesn't have a good license, that might shut it down. GNU public license, GPL.
Okay, but it's fine as long as you don't change it, right?
Yeah, and as long as any changes you open source. I know an Apache project can't embed GNU, but I don't know that that matters if it's links. Like, as long as you're not compiling against Discourse, which we wouldn't, we'd be like, here are links.
Just links.
I don't know. It's just, I'd be curious to think about, like, let's all use this to have that conversation in. And, it could link to any other chat, anything else you wanted to do. That was the idea of having the links per case.
Yeah.
Right. Is, I'm just saying the next level of depth, right? Like level 1 is links to things from Cupid case. Level 2 is you created a case. We auto create a conversation in Discourse for you and auto link it to the case.
Yeah. Actually, in Discourse, what I like is that they have this labels that
Yeah.
something that I was also missing, and probably this is one of the reasons why I'm asking for rating level comment is not, and also like case level comment, is to find a way to categorize these things in Qupid. You know, like let's say 10% of cases is data issue, and then 90% is query understanding. But you do want a way to filter through these things. So, but what matters is not just filtering, but also the comment itself, basically what's wrong in it, because, you know, somebody will do some work there, kind of like figuring out what's going on. So this looks interesting, but do you know if Discourse also has an API? So like, because in Qupid you
they
would want to
advertise that everything has an API.
Okay,
Cool.
cool.
It said Ember.js, which for a while was going to be like the JavaScript front end for, was real common for that. So they have an Ember.js. It's a Docker image.
Wow, 34,000 stars.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, I'm not sure we're gonna do better at threaded commenting than this.
Probably not. But is it used in gaming? It is, right?
Dude, so Discord is what's
Discord.
really used in gaming.
Yeah.
Discourse is more of a chat.
But I mean, they do have this screenshot here, Borderlands 3. It's a game. I mean, they integrate it probably as well. Okay, nice. Wow, this is huge. So they have a Docker image. So I guess, yeah, I mean, I guess it means that if we were to use this together with Qupid, maybe we need to give users a hand to kind of how to install it and so on, or maybe just redirect them here and they will.
I think it's bin Docker. How do you install Qupid right now? It's a Docker image, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I suspect there is like a script that you run that grabs it and downloads it and drops in the plugin, and it probably, it's a question mark, but maybe it's part of the built version, right? Mm-hmm. Is that?
Mm-hmm. So in Qupid, we would have another config parameter, or like few parameters that we need to connect Qupid and Discourse, right? Like,
yeah, probably a couple more environment variables. And so if you use the production Docker Compose, right, like you would get it for free, right? Like you would just fire it up and you get Discourse as well, right? Because we ship it all in that. I have to double check on that. But if you already have it deployed, then you just point at it, might be the hope. And I think we have to make sure that, and I know you can, we would want to make sure that,
you want to like depend on it, maybe similar to how we do with SQL and Redis.
Yeah, and I mean,
unless the company already has it, but even then, even if they do have it, it might have a different purpose. I don't know. I'm not a Discourse user, but like, what if they use it for some other purpose? They don't want you to put your Qupid stuff there. So then then you want to have a
I mean, and that's why we might be shipping Discourse as part of Qupid. That's a great question, right? It might just be because if we have these API links between the two, and also you're going to want to, you're going to, I don't know. It's definitely something to think about. So,
yeah.
Okay. So all right. So that was a cool idea, but it's also a significant effort. I'm still thinking about how to properly manage these experiments. I don't even know that this is the right idea, but it's something. And if nothing else, the baby steps is just to get the baby steps that I think we can agree on is embed links we could think about pretty easily doing the template thing there, right? Even
Yes.
without the discourse. The other one is, do you write out for your raters what the information need is for a query?
Actually, not so far. But one thing, like for instance, do you know Docano? So it's a system which allows you to do some NLP annotation work, right? And so, and what you do there is that you can use Markdown to formulate the task for them. So when they access the project, they will read it and they will kind of set their mind and they will understand how to follow, how to proceed. And so in Qpid, I think that would be a great feature. I don't know if you're asking along those lines or something else.
I am. Like, I've thought about having like some sort of like, all right, Mission Impossible. I'm curious, what is the like I often say, what is the information need? What are they looking for? Right. And you're like, and maybe I'm thinking it's something you mouse over and up pops the user is whatever you typed in, right? The user is looking for this action movie featuring Tom Cruise, right? But like often it can be much more ambiguous.
Yes.
And so you could say this query is pretty ambiguous, but what we're looking for are accessories to a car, not the car itself.
Yeah.
And like if you could mouse over that and be like, oh, okay, now I know what I need to do when I rate these docs.
Yeah.
And toggling the notes is kind of a pain because I often write it in the toggle notes. I'll say information need : and then put it in the top. But if I'm rating documents, I do not want to open this, go to toggle notes, read it, toggle it closed, and then go. Right.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm almost wondering if having some sort of little icon here, what the information need is.
Yeah, it's a good idea. Yep, I like it.
Yes. Okay. Maybe some sort of like that type of icon, sort of little like, and you mouse over it, you're like, oh, okay, that's what it is, right? Yeah. So, and and then if I export queries, I want to be able to export it and import it, right? And then I don't know, maybe you double click it and it becomes editable.
Yeah.
Or is it something like maybe you click toggle notes? Do you mind clicking toggle notes? And you actually get 2 text boxes, right? Okay. Maybe this is the way to go, right? 2 text boxes.
Yeah.
The information need text box is out right here, right? Or it's information need and that.
Yep. Then we save space and kind of multifunctional.
Right. But the idea is most people are just mousing over it to figure out what the hell it is.
You mean this one?
Yeah, they mouse over the little icon up here and be like, oh, they're looking for a Tom Cruise movie.
Yeah.
Okay. Makes sense.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Yeah, that's an interesting idea. I think I haven't kind of like gone that far to, but because we have the vertical search, which is part of web scale, and users do not tell us the intent. They just search. They never tell us what they were looking for. They don't give us feedback. And so part of our job is to figure out the intent and increase whatever it is we are increasing, like CTR, for instance. So in that sense, what we were doing is basically kind of like rating, and then having this node, rating level node would help us to just talk to the annotators, and then together we are trying to figure out what was the intent, why they clicked here and they didn't click there, things like that. But yeah, it's kind of like reverse engineering because users do not tell you.
Yeah.
But I imagine where you have user interviews, you would kind of learn, right? Or maybe there would be kind of some pop-up in the product saying, how did we do? Can you give us a thumbs up, thumbs down? Can you type something? So in that sense, maybe you will get some feedback.
Right.
But yeah, but other than that, it's kind of like reverse engineering from their clicks, which is hard. You know it.
Yeah, totally. No, that's totally it.
Okay. Yeah. I wonder, yeah, if we also should we continue, or do we stop recording, or what do we gonna?
Yeah, we could stop record. Are we sort of done with this sort of design around like additional textual things? Is there other, what are you thinking?
What if Rater comes back to this and changes their mind after they commented? So I guess they need to remember.
What if every time you change your mind, I mean, I think if you have a comment and you change your mind, it should probably pop up the comment box again.
Yeah, like if I, like, like if this was one and then I changed my mind, I thought, oh no, I was too quick, so maybe it should be good, but I already left the comment and now it's invalid. It's almost like commenting your code. So you change the code, you forget to change the comment, and now they're in disagreement.
Right.
So just thinking a bit ahead. So maybe if we could pop up a window saying, would you like to also update your comment? Is that doable?
Yeah. I think yeah. More front end coding. It's just an event and a trigger and I don't know.
Yeah. But do you think it's a good idea, or do you think it's too kind of like nitty-gritty, kind of nitpicking?
I think if you're changing your rating,
yeah.
What if there is a rating, what if you put your text right below in that box as a horizontal?
You mean in this rating box, right?
Yeah, like if you've made a rating.
Yeah.
What if this box, we have a reset button, which would both clear your message and your rating.
Yeah.
And what if we had a message box? What if we put the message box right there and like the message box is open right now?
Actually, it makes sense. You mean like there would be an
there
icon
or right there is a text box. Pop it back open. Box right there in the modal.
Okay, I see. Oh, that's interesting. But then the thing is that if it's like when I change my rating, right? But if I just scroll through and I want to know which of these have comments. Yeah.
I mean, we could have a little icon for the ones that have comments.
Yeah, like a small icon here, right?
If you want to edit the comment, you click that.
Yeah, so I click that, or I click this one and I edit it here.
And now you can edit the comment.
Yeah, why not? Because then it kind of like is collocated with the grade, right? Here's my grade, and then this is the, yeah, I like it. I like it. So it is less disconnected in the UX, because otherwise people might think, okay, this is a comment and this is a separate thing. So they kind of disconnect from each other. So I guess, yeah, I like it. Makes sense. So I think we should do that. Yeah. So this is like a modal, and then it could kind of have a docked rich text editor there. Okay.
Yeah.
Why not?
Okay. So, okay, awesome. So I think what I want to do, all right, so where do we go from here? Does it make sense to post this video?
Yeah.
In chat? I wonder, Dmitry, if you want to go through the video. And what I've been doing lately is I go back through the video and I screenshot the slide when we talk about something.
Yeah.
Someone has annotated, and I put the timestamp in the video. Does it make sense to make some tickets in GitHub?
Yes, for sure.
Because what I worry is like this, like what I think I can say I have energy for. One is I really want to do that try graph, that I really want to visualize the tries. because
Yeah.
I always get lost. So I'm probably going to do that.
Okay.
I like what we said about embedding links. I like the information need, and I like your ratings having that extra attribute. So, I mean, I think we could make tickets for those, and they will get to Doug.
Yeah. Makes sense. Let's do the ticket.
Or Stalebot will eventually go through and close them.
The Stalebot will warn you, I guess, first.
He will warn, and as long as someone puts a comment in, right, they'll get reopened. But basically, if I think how often does Stalebot kick in?
I don't know, once a month or something like that.
90 days, I think, or
maybe even
longer.
90 days. Yeah, I don't remember. It was more than a month.
Go for longer than a month, and or no, I think it's not. I got too many windows open.
Is it configurable or not?
Yeah. There's a file called .github/stalebot or whatever.
Okay.
I think we could, so let's just.
But of course, we will have several tickets here, and kind of like, obviously, well, maybe I can take one of them, but also I'm thinking after we post this to Slack, maybe somebody would like to join us.
That's part of why I'm thinking it might be worth, Dmitry, you doing and I guess I'm saying, I'll write, I'm happy to write a little more code and you do a little more legwork on the product owner side of things. Right? That way we're all contributing, right? So if we do
I want to do the code as well, Eric. But I'm just
well, and then maybe our next couple, our next couple of coding, we work on that, right?
Yes.
That is mine.
Okay. So
that was my 10-year-old calling me with the sob story that he lost the piece of paper with the Zoom invite to hang out with his friend at 5:30 p.m. with the Zoom written down. I'm like, oh my God, my 10-year-old uses Zoom to hang out with his friend from school.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
They live in a different world.
Yep, than us. So, I just checked Stalebot. 90 days until stale, 30 more days until it's closed. 90 days is 3 months. So if we haven't made any progress on any of these tickets in 3 months, it seems like it's not gonna happen.
Yeah, but it's kind of like, it's our own interest. So I don't know.
Yeah,
I was just thinking,
I don't think it's bad to close things. I like that we close things that are open for a long time, because I think that often you're like, yeah, it's a great idea, but it's just not working. All right, I'm done.
There is no easy solution or something like that, but that's fine. So I found on YouTube, there is Quepid channel. Is that yours?
What?
Quepid channel. I pasted the link.
Maybe, I guess so.
Because I'm thinking, can we put these videos there?
Oh, great idea.
If you have the access to this channel, put it up, and then we refer users to it, so the file doesn't need to fly everywhere.
Yep. No, that's a wonderful idea.